Hello everyone, it's Mark Shalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars, and I'm presenting you our 4-vehicle collection selling with no reserve at the Barrett-Jackson auction in West Palm Beach, Florida, April 18th through the 20th. You gotta check this out. Before I start off this video here, I'd like to say for any new followers of MS Classic Cars or people that maybe haven't heard of our company, we truly do things different than everybody else. Just ask somebody who knows. Since inception, I've only collected #1 and #2 condition show quality vehicles. We take great pride, the entire MS Classic Cars team, for being the only dealership in the country who services every vehicle that we sell, and we document the work with an invoice. All of these cars, no matter if they're factory correct or if they're custom, they need to be sorted out, and that's what we do. Once we're done with the service process, we detail these vehicles to a very, very high level, and then of course we do amazing presentations. Just want to make sure that we opened up with that. As we get a little closer to this collection here, we are very proud to be one of the top sellers at Barrett-Jackson. A lot of people always see the sign that we have up on the wall there. We've done a lot of business with Barrett-Jackson over the years. It's a super exciting event. Everything sells with no reserve. We just sold a magnificent 19-vehicle collection at Barrett-Jackson in Scottsdale. That was in January. It was a real epic event. Once we got back, got settled, I really wanted to come back to Barrett-Jackson in April with the West Palm Beach, Florida sale, and I wanted to come back strong. So what I did in a very short amount of time with the team is we put together this 4-vehicle collection, which is absolutely amazing. For anybody who did recognize our 1960 Cadillac Series 62 Coupe, we were originally offering 5 vehicles. In case there's any confusion, we decided to do some additional work to that car. We actually removed the engine and service, and we are putting in a supercharged LS3. It's going to be absolutely epic when we're finished with it. Just want to make sure I made that comment. So these 4 vehicles, red, white, and blue, that you see here are our collection. So let's start with this first car. I'd like to use this opportunity to just mention the gentleman's name that I actually purchased this vehicle from. His name will come up in a minute because we have another vehicle down there as well. His name is Larry Thomas. He is from Texas. I wanted to give him a shout and just basically say thank you. We appreciate the opportunity to have purchased these cars from you. So this particular car here, I will go on record now and say, in my opinion, this could be the best car at the entire auction at Barrett-Jackson. If it's not the best, it surely will compete with the best. You can only do so much with photography. You can do only so much with videos and things like this to truly understand the quality of something. I will tell you that this vehicle is one of the best vehicles I've ever seen. The body is extremely straight. The paint is extremely brilliant. The stainless around all of the headlights and all of the bumpers, the grille, of course that is an earlier grille. Even the spears on the side are from a different year. They wanted to customize this vehicle a bit. If you look at the hardtop and how it fits, if you do notice that blue tape, we did that for shipping purposes. We are shipping all of these vehicles with Plycar Automotive Logistics. We're actually loading everything tomorrow. Want to make sure I give them a little credit as well. This vehicle also has a black soft top. It's a cloth soft top that fits like a glove. But when you look at this Corvette here, it's a magnificent C1. It is absolutely stunning. Again, I cannot say enough things about it. The interior is all black leather, Al Nock, which is a big name in the business. It's got air conditioning. It's got a ton of cool comfort features. It even has cup holders that fold down from the center console. Really, really in love with this car. Check this out. I'm sure you can see this in all of our photos, but I think that's really cool. We'll probably drive on stage with the lights like that, or you have this mode as well. One of my favorite features of this car. Underneath the hood here, we have a LS3, which was ordered from GM Performance as a Cruise and Connect. It's backed by a 4L65 automatic transmission. Again, this is a great cruising car. The best part of it all is, besides its great looks and its great drivetrain, it sits on an Art Morrison Sport GT chassis, which of course comes with all the suspension, all the brakes, and everything else. They did an excellent job with the exhaust system on this car. Once again, I can go on and on for days about it. It clearly is going to be the star of the show, in my opinion. It also is going to be the first vehicle that's selling from our collection. The lot number is 712. It's going to be selling on Saturday. Write it down, April 20th. Again, lot number 712. You don't want to miss this car. It is going to be absolutely awesome. Moving on to the next vehicle, which coincidentally I also bought from Larry Thomas in Texas. I'm going to do these in order of the lot numbers, so when you're watching on TV or you're watching online, you can kind of see the vehicles appear as I'm doing here in this video. But this is also a vehicle that I purchased from him. Interesting story. He actually called me. A lot of people wonder, because they've been following us for so many years, they can reference almost 1,000 vehicles on our sold page on our website, msclassiccars.com. And they asked me, Mark, where do you find your vehicles? I take great pride in finding vehicles that really have not been truly exposed. That is not an easy thing to do. A lot of people, dealers, whatever the case might be, they'll go to the Barrett-Jacksons, the Meekums, they'll go to all these types of deals and buy cars and just sell them and so forth and keep inventory moving. What we like to do here is slow down a little bit. We really like to focus on finding vehicles that really have not been exposed, and that way when we list them for sale, it's like the world's kind of seeing them for the first time. So that particular car that I was just talking about, that Corvette, that has never seen the market for sale. So when Larry actually called me about that car, he's been a customer of ours. We've done business in the past, and he told me all about it. He said, Mark, it'll be one of the best cars you've ever owned, and that's a vehicle that would fall into that category, that it's really never been marketed for sale. So again, I want to make sure to mention that. So as I was doing the deal with that car, he's sending me a bunch of pictures and everything else. I see this vehicle sitting in the background. So of course, you know, anytime I buy a car, I always, or a truck or anything for that matter, I always ask people, do you have anything else that's for sale? Because I'm into collecting everything. We like motorcycles, we like mini bikes, we like gas pumps, we like kiddie rides, we like everything at MS Classic Cars. So Larry said to me, Mark, not really sure I want to sell that truck. It's one of my favorite vehicles I've ever owned. He said, you really have to pry it from me. Anyway, a couple weeks later, him and I are signing paperwork. I decided to go ahead and purchase this truck. He decided to sell it. He knew that it was going to a good home. So this is a 1951 Chevrolet 3100 5-window pickup truck. If you've been following MS Classic Cars, part of the last 2 Barrett-Jackson auctions that we've been to, we had a beautiful 54. We also had a 50, both 3100s. They both went off the charts. They were gorgeous restorations. One was done by Metalworks in Oregon. I want to give them credit as well. Another one was done by Tray 5 Customs and so forth. But this particular truck here competes with those 2 trucks absolutely 100%. I would say the bodywork and the paint is equally as nice. It is a spectacular looking truck. Just to touch base on a few things, at MS Classic Cars, we did add these LED headlights. He did some fab work down here when they were doing the restoration to make this a little bit tighter here with this bumper. It's been tucked and so forth. They did the same thing with the rear. Obviously, it's got a fully custom interior, and you can go to our website, again at MS Classic Cars, and check out all the photography that we have on all these vehicles to get a better sense of what they are. But we've got Koi wheels, again, this beautiful two-tone brown interior, billet specialties, steering wheel. It's got an I Did It polished tilt column. It's got air conditioning. It's got a really killer sound system. It's got a brand new bed. Again, this chassis was boxed and strengthened in both the front and the rear. It's got all the goodies from the brakes to the suspension. Underneath this hood here, we have an LM7, which is an LS-based engine. It runs absolutely beautiful. It is coupled to a 4L60 transmission. Again, another automatic transmission. Mike Marcella, our service manager, the day after he drove this vehicle and kind of got to know it a little bit, he came in to me and he said, "Mark, this has got to be one of the best driving trucks that we've ever had, maybe even one of the best driving vehicles that we've ever had." He was blown away by it, but it is super special. Now, again, this is selling on Saturday, April 20th. The lot number is 761. It's going to be following the Corvette. I would say if they're running roughly 20 cars per hour, this is probably going to be about an hour and a half to 2 hours after the Corvette, a little bit deeper into Saturday and so forth, but you definitely do not want to miss this truck. It is stunning, stunning, stunning. Now, the next vehicle that we're going to be selling is something that I'm super proud of right here. This is a 1969 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Now, this is the first Trans Am that we've ever had at MS Classic Cars. I've always wanted one of these cars. You know, white is my favorite color. The blue stripes just adds the icing on the cake. It is extremely hard, as most people know, to find limited production cars that are truly authentic. Over the years, I've seen, you know, these cars come up for sale, and, you know, by the time you get close to them and you see the bodywork, you see the paint, you find out that the engine's not original to the car, you look at the interior, et cetera, and I just kind of fade away. But this particular car here, this has really never been exposed. Kind of like the truck and the Corvette, it really has never seen the limelight until now. This car spent its life in New York. We actually drove to New York with our truck and trailer to do an inspection when we purchased this vehicle. It is absolutely stunning. They made a total of 697 Trans Ams, of which only 43 of those 697 cars had black interior. That is a really rare deal. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the only car to ever cross Barrett-Jackson's stage with a black interior. Again, super special. They did a magnificent job with the bodywork, the paint on this. All of these cars, in my opinion, fall into the #1 category as far as condition. It does have its original matching numbers, 455 engine. It has its original 4-speed transmission, and it has the original rear end. Now, all the Pontiac people out there know that you can get the Pontiac PHS paperwork. This car clearly has all of that. But what I did is I took things a step further, and I had the car evaluated and certified by Jim Madison of PHS. He owns PHS, him and his son JB Madison, they're friends of mine. He put together a great letter for me that basically just went over all the details of this particular car. We sent him a bunch of pictures, because at MS Classic Cars, if I say the engine's original or I say the transmission's original, we want to make sure that the experts in the business can back up what we say. We do that with Camaros with Jerry McNeish. We do it with Roy Seiner with Corvettes. We do it with David Weiss with Mopars. You get the point. So I did that with this particular car just to make sure that everybody understood that it's an authentic, real deal piece. It's our first one. I'm super excited about it. Again, this is going to be selling on Saturday, April 20th. The lot number is 768.1. It's going to be selling just a short time after the pickup truck there. So we've got the Corvette, we've got the pickup, then we've got the Trans Am, and you can clearly see, if you go on our website and look, this restoration is second to none. Now, moving on to the last car, of course, this particular one right here. This is something I'm also extremely proud of. We have not had a 70 Camaro in quite some time. These are referred to as second gens. What I love about this car, of course, which everybody probably noticed right away, is the iconic split bumpers. This is a absolutely spectacular car. I bought this car from the gentleman who had actually owned it for many years. It was a continuous restoration. What continuous means is, rather than somebody sending a vehicle to a restoration shop or a car builder to be built, they do it over a 6-month, a year, 2-year time frame. It's finished and then you drive it and so forth. This particular car was done in stages. So body work and paint was done, then the interior was eventually done, then the engine compartment was done. Because these are so expensive to restore and bring to the level of what you see here today, that people have to do things in stages. So we're very proud of this particular car here. Again, I cannot say enough about it. The body work is beautiful. The paint is beautiful. It's got this really nice matte gray stripe on the hood, also on the rear deck lid as well. We did indeed add modern headlights to this car. I really, really like the interior of this car. Matter of fact, if you go on our website, you'll notice that there are separate switches that light up in red LED on the headliner, door panels, and in all the cup holders, which I think is really cool. This car, again, has upgraded gauges. It's got a Billet Specialties steering wheel. It's got the tilt column. It's got air conditioning. Again, it's got all the features. This was done by a high-end upholsterer who did a beautiful job in the interior. It's one of my favorite interiors that we've had in a car of this generation, just because I think it was really well laid out, designed. Again, it's simple but super clean. Underneath the hood here, this particular car is powered by an LS6. That's not an LS6 from back in the day like you'd find in a Chevelle or something like that. This is actually a modern LS engine. It's LS6. This thing dynoed with some serious horsepower. Again, at MS Classic Cars, we did our own thing to this engine compartment. We added a show panel. We added a bunch of cool stuff. I even think we replaced the windshield wiper motor with a Detroit Speed wiper motor. You can see all that information on our invoice. This engine's coupled to a 6-speed transmission, so it's got a great transmission. Again, work has been done to the suspension. It's been done to the brakes. We have undercarriage photos of all these cars. Again, you definitely need to check them all out. You make sure, if you cannot be at Barrett-Jackson in person, you have the ability. It takes 15, 20 minutes to register. You can register to bid online. You can bid over the phone. You can give Barrett-Jackson what you want to spend on the car. They'll bid on your behalf. But because they're selling with no reserve, it is a huge opportunity for everybody to partake in this great event. I personally will be down there. We're going with one of the MS Classic Cars team members, Carl Almeida. The two of us will be glued to these cars Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you have any questions at all, come see me. Be more than happy to give you a presentation of each individual car. If you can't make it there in person, again, check everything out on our website, msclassiccars.com. So I'll wrap up by saying, if you want to follow MS Classic Cars a little bit closer, get a better pulse on everything that we have going on, please sign up for our VIP newsletter. It's right on the homepage of our website. We have thousands and thousands of followers that get these emails and so forth. We also are really big on social media. We ask that you follow us on all the social media platforms. We really would appreciate your business. Anytime that you call, I'll be more than happy to spend the time necessary to make sure that whatever you're looking at is the right car for you. Again, I am also very diversified in what I collect. So please, if you're into vehicles from the 20s, or the 30s. We just sold a beautiful 31 Model A Deluxe Roadster as an example. If you're into muscle cars, you're into European cars, so am I. So please check us out, follow us. Hopefully we can do some business. And once again, do not pass this great opportunity. We appreciate you watching this video. And as always, rock and roll.